Welcome in ye ELEJE channel. Welcome in ye ABBA channel. I will be teaching you today. Hold on to your holy Bible. They are doing away with Bibles and religion. I am Hebrew. This is the New Living Translation Bible. I read this one a lot. I also have the King James Bible and a Bible dictionary and many other books, but we'll get into the other books another time. Right now, we'll be talking about what is clean for you and what is unclean for you. And also, we will get into peace and sin offerings today. Okay, here it is. Leviticus. Ceremonially clean and unclean animals. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Of all the land animals, these are the ones that you may use for food. You may eat any animal that has completely split hoofs and chews the cud. You may not, however, eat the following animals that have split hooves or that chew cud, but not both. The camel chews cud, but does not have split hoofs, so it is ceremonially unclean for you. The hyrax chews the cud, but does not have split hoofs, so it is unclean. The hare chews the cud, but does not have split hoofs, so it is unclean. The pig has evenly split hoofs, but does not chew the cud, so it is unclean. You may not eat the meat of any of these animals or even touch their carcasses. They are ceremonially unclean for you. Of all the marine animals, these are the ones you may use for food. You may eat anything from the water if it has both fins and scales, whether taken from salt water or from streams. But you must never eat animals from the sea or rivers that do not have both fins and scales. They are detestable for you. This applies both to little creatures that live in shallow water and to all the creatures that live in deep water. They will always be detestable to you. You must never eat their meat or even touch their dead bodies. Any marine animal that does not have both fins and scale is detestable to you. These are the birds that are detestable to you. You must never eat them. The griffin, vulture, the bearded vulture, the black vulture, the kite, falcons of any kind, ravens or ravens of all kinds, the eagle, owl, the short-eared owl, the seagull, hawks of any kinds, the little owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the barn owl, the desert owl, the Egyptian vulture, the stork, herons of all kinds, and the hoopoe, and the bat. So you must not eat bats. You must not eat winged insects that walk along the ground. You must not eat any insects. You must not eat winged insects that walk along the ground. They are detestable to you. However, you may eat winged insects that walk among the ground and have joined wings and have joined legs just so they can jump. These insects you are permitted to eat, including all kinds of locusts, bald locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers, and all other winged insects that walk along the ground are detestable for you. The following creatures will make you ceremonially unclean. If anyone touches their carcass, you will be defiled until the evening. If you pick up their carcass, you must wash your. If you pick up their carcasses, you must wash your clothes, and you will remain defiled until evening. Any animal that has split hoofs are not evenly divided or does not chew the cud is unclean for you. If you touch the carcass of such an animal, you will be defiled. Of the animals that walk on all fours, that those that have paws are unclean for you. If you touch a carcass such as an animal, you are unclean. If you touch a carcass such as an animal, you will be defiled until evening. If you pick up its carcass, you must wash your clothes, and you will remain defiled until evening. These animals are unclean for you. Of the small animals scurrying along the ground, these are unclean for you. The mole, rat, lizards, large lizards of all kinds, the gecko, the monitor lizard, the common lizard, the sand lizard, the chameleon. All these small animals are unclean for you. If any of you touch its dead body, if any of you touch the dead body of such animal, you will be defiled until evening. If such an animal dies and falls on something, an object, it will be unclean. This is true whether the object is made of wood, cloth, leather, or burlap. Whatever you use, you must dip it in water, and it will remain defiled until evening. After that, it will be ceremonially clean, and it may be used again. If such an animal falls into a clay pot, everything in the pot will be defiled, and the pot must be smashed. Wow. The pot must be smashed. If such animal falls into a clay pot, everything in the pot will be defiled, and the pot must be smashed. If the water from such a container spills on any food, the food will be defiled, and any beverage in such container will be defiled. Any object in which the carcass of such an animal falls will be defiled. If it's an oven or hearth, it must be destroyed, for it is defiled, and you must treat it accordingly. Okay. So we read part of Leviticus chapter 11, ceremonially clean and unclean animals. And I'm not going to read the whole chapter because my camera's dying. Who are the Lord's people in heaven? Think about it. Are they Him? Who are the Lord's people in heaven? They must be the Lord, because anything that goes to heaven is holy, and anything that lives in heaven is the Lord. Can a woman be the Lord? I believe yes. Can a man be the Lord? Yes. Who are God's children in heaven? Who are God's people? Who are God's warriors? Him. Elohim. Moses said to Pharaoh, "Who am I?" Moses said to the burning bush on Mount Sinai, "Who am I to go before Pharaoh? Who am I to part the Red Sea?" And God said, "Moses, pick up your staff, take off your sandals, for the ground you stand on is holy. You will part the Red Sea, and you will free the Hebrew slaves out of bondage." Moses said, "Who am I to go before Pharaoh? Who should I tell them sent me? What God?" And God said to Moses, "I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Jacob, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac. And also God said, who shall I say sent me to free the Hebrews? In the burning bush said to Moses, Ayah, Asher, Ayah. Say, I am has sent me to you. Yahweh, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. Let my people go. Let the Hebrews go. Who are God's people? Moses parted the Red Sea. Christ came to do away with the laws of Moses. And when the Pharisees questioned Jesus, why don't your disciples wash their hands before they sit down and eat with the Pharisees? Jesus, why don't you wash your hands? Jesus, why don't your disciples follow our old age tradition of ceremonially hand washing? Jesus is not the Lord. He is the devil. Why didn't Jesus baptize one of his disciples? Why didn't he baptize another? He gave his bread as the body, as he gave his bread as his body, and his wine as his blood, but he didn't baptize his disciples. So you cannot receive the Holy Spirit from communion without being baptized. I believe in communion. I believe in the Eucharist, but I also believe in the 12-stone altar. You can defeat your enemies. Moses set up 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel and sacrificed on the Lord's altar. Elijah even did a sacrifice in front of his servant Eliah, and disappeared into a whirlwind. Only God can raise the dead. I admit it. I am Elijah. I am Abba. Who am I to go before Pharaoh? Who am I?